Welcome to my round 3 recap video of my exploits in the Formula Open New Zealand series. And as you can see from those opening clips, it wasn't plain sailing. The track was very slippery, most likely because it was really cold. The track temp was between 5 to 15 degrees throughout the day, and then the air temp was much the same. So really cold day, and the track was quite, clean. It had been raining the whole week prior, so just lack of grip on the corner exits and lack of grip pretty much everywhere. But I'll fly straight through into the qualifying, where I did one lap and then brought it into a red flag. And I didn't rejoin the circuit when the sessions resumed because I could see that it wasn't really going to take off, and I think there was another 4 or 5 competitors that kept on spinning and finding the sandpits, so kept on red flagging the session. So just the one lap, but it put me on the front of the row for the start of race 1, and you'll see I did a 360 halfway through the lap, so I'll play that now. So with quali over, it's probably time just to quickly cover some admin for the weekend. My main competition had either been knocked out due to COVID, personal reasons, or mechanical issues. So this weekend I was sort of going to have it easy, but Sam McNeil was back in the seat after a reasonable break. He hasn't raced at all this season, and he was racing a FT50, so he's in fast equipment. But for those that follow my Facebook, I made the changes to help with the rolling starts and also help out of the corners. And you'll see on this clip, out of turn 1, even though I've lost the start of the race to turn 1, I really get the power down out of turn 1, and that shoots me into the lead. It became clear pretty quickly that I had an edge on the field, and it wasn't just a small edge, it was a matter of a few seconds. Now, you can just rest on your laurels and win races, but that's not me. I was going to try as hard as I could this weekend, and again, for those that follow my Facebook, I made it pretty clear going into the weekend that even though I knew the competition wasn't going to be too hard, I wasn't going to give up or take an easy route. So going into lap 2, I was just pushing as hard as I could, and I lost it, and then Sam was able to catch me, and that really made me work for the next lap or so to get back to the lead. After regaining the lead, I'd gone to win the race with a best lap time of 126.544. I was pretty happy with this because my goals going into the weekend was to set a 126, which I thought was a realistic time, and even more realistic once I got to see the conditions. And that was 6/10 faster than my previous PB being a 127.12. I'll now go into race 2, and I won't actually show that much of the race at all because there just wasn't much to see, but I set a best lap time of a 126.38, so I took 2/10 again off my PB. But I was left wanting because there was some lap traffic that messed up a couple of laps where I was on the delta. I had a high 125 as showing if I could complete the lap. So when that showed, I was pretty stoked. But I'll play that now. With race 2 done, it was time to head into race 3, and this was the last race of the day, so I had to leave nothing on the table after this one. Even though I'd set new PBs, I wasn't going to accept that, I wasn't going to rest on that, and I wanted to go even faster. So to start this race, my goal was to go as fast as I could every lap and not go any slower. So basically drive round and round until I spun. And to stop me spinning as much, I'd added an extra wing element to the rear wing because I was finding through the left rights it was getting quite taily, and that was ruining lap time every time that happened. And then in retrospect, I should have softened the front bar or made a change to grip up the front a little bit because it started to understeer, and you'll hear me dabbing the throttle occasionally just because I couldn't get bite out of the front. But yeah, this first race I attack it for 3 laps. I get a really good third lap where I do a 125.3, beating my PB by a whole second, and then I spin it on lap 4 once I start to go past my skill level. I'll just skip it to lap 3 because the first 2 laps are pretty boring, just to getting faster and faster, and lap 3 is where it all starts to go down. after finding my limits, the new goal was to get back to the lead as fast as possible. But going into that fourth lap, I was already another 0.3 up on the lap before, so I was starting to dip into the 124s. And I think I might have actually been looking at my delta when I spun, or the corner before, and that's why I missed the apex, because I saw a 24 pop up on the dash, and I don't know, I probably got a bit excited. What it probably means is at Hampton for the final round, I'll remove the delta from the dash and just start driving as fast as I can. But that aside, the goal for the rest of this race was to get back to the lead as fast as possible and try set a good lap time whilst doing it. And whilst I didn't beat my PB, I was doing 25s to get back to the lead, so I was pretty happy with that. And I was also happy that when following Sam at the end of it, each straight that I can follow one of these cars, I knock off 0.3, so it leaves me wanting to be able to race someone who's also got a Swift DB4, because I feel like if you had two DB4s, both with new tyres, they'd just absolutely destroy the TRS lap times. But that aside, I'll leave it playing as I try to knock off Fergus Crab first and then Sam McNeil second. Just skipping a lap ahead to shorten up the video. So with race 3 done, I had 3 race wins, but more important to me, I'd set a PB every race, and I was starting to go into territory that was previously unattainable. So I felt like I'd taken another step up, especially over these last 2 race weekends. I feel like I've really taken some step forwards with my driving. And I don't think I'm going to F1 or even professional racing, but this whole thing has been to push myself and become a better driver. So I feel like I'm starting to really get there. But I'm going to just show a clip of the fast right-hander, because this is a corner that was really, I was scared. And I was just waiting to keep on turning right and crash into the wall. And you'll see how I have to snap left while pulling 100% throttle just to stop it spinning into the wall. And it just crabs a little bit to the left each time. But watching it frame by frame, because the camera definitely hides how unstable the car is, but watching it frame by frame, it's pretty exciting. So that's the end of my round 3 recap video, and cheers to Mike Orange who gave me a hand during the day. Just the simple things like putting the wheels on and off is a huge help. With 1 round left, we're at Hampton Downs next month, end of May, and it'll be the final round to see what's left in the car. Tom will be back, so I'll have some stiff competition, and I'm gonna try find a way to put some new tyres, new rubber on the car, because I feel like, not that I need it as such, but I just want to see with new rubber what I can do. So I'll find a way to do it. If anyone wants to help me do that, I'm all ears. If you want to keep up to date with what I'm up to, I post short updates on my Facebook page, Swift DB4 number 31, between rounds. Usually give some hints as to what I'm working on. And yeah, if you've watched this far, thanks for watching. Cheers.